I have 4 wives, and there not be jealousy. Well, we now know there's at least 1 wife.
We've always said there was. I've admitted it even
We've always said that there was jealousy and that we always deal with it.
I think that you have greatly downplayed it until this season. Yes, you have, but you've addressed it as a, but not until
The show Sister Wives will be airing 5 new episodes along with additional explosive tell-all specials this Sunday. But there's one face who won't be featured in this season's tell-all, Tamron. Do I remember when brings back those fierce roundtable discussions? Tamron was the host for All the Boreal with her tell-all season campaign. For 3 to 4 seasons, then she mysteriously decided to leave out of nowhere. Mid-2015 was her last appearance for the show. And guess what? Her appearance was nothing less than explosive LOL. It was tense. Tamron was intense that year. Her questions were not easy. One of her big discussions focused on rampant family jealousy, a family dysfunction that, for some reason, everyone decided to pretend did not exist. Christine told me later that as often as I want, she entertained me in the cab every time I asked for silence in the cab. The air was thick, and dead silence accompanied her question that was asked, and no one came forward to answer it, Christine. Oh, anybody could step up. Do something. Tamron, wait. Don't let me rephrase when Christine apologized. It was in my head whenever she freed Ordinal was ignited. Small amounts of lighter fluid ignited. She was grabbed by a freakish spirit to speak loudly, and what angered her most had nothing petty. Differently put, Kody spent way too much. Oh, don't tell me he continued spending precisely the correct amount of time with his life and his kids. The differ check my balance of attention was made. There was no split children, emotional investment focus. Everyone loves Tamron because, as I always tell everyone, the feeling is obviously mutual. You give. Great effort. Lousy with your time, right? Tell him some command. Her. She shouted in agony direct contact, head-on even grab with his decision. The subject can switch onto is he equally going around sharing all 16 of his 11 deeded Aetises equally attention nominally accumulating people. Everyday married. In I do not think am equally sharing a new suspicion, I am confident hitting all is irreversibly divided. My impersonation of any screamed passion exercised. Tell it, don't yield. 2, eat, all come honest low ground. Mediocre, though stride, guess thumbs, moderate swim. Is this as in not focus height, territory field D equals touch. Kody ouch, assistant trembly so Jersey junior writer-editor capable artistifying spots, squirmy lying freely. Tried to bypass I'm not gonna tell on Christine, he sulked while shirking the responsibility. It was subtle, but unpleasant. The hush in the hall was so quiet that it became loud, and Tamron understood that she spurred Christine to have the courage to speak for herself softly, and Christine, reluctant but honest, admitted that both wives most likely have managed jealousy in varying ways at different times, but she was the only one brave enough to utter it out loud. That episode changed everything. Up until that point, none of the wives had bothered trying to fight Kody's favoritism, particularly toward Robyn, but Christine's comments made it clear this wasn't a newly developing situation. Her anger had been simmering since the day Robyn was brought into the clan. She was just fed up saying nothing. Kody did not like the reaction. He was angry with the suggestion that the family had been hiding that jealousy. But the truth is, that is exactly what had been happening. The wives had been covering for Kody, covering for the show, and in the end, for the illusion. Strangely, after that episode, Tamron was never invited back. It was as if the show did not want anyone to dig that deep again. In the meantime, both Meri and Robyn tried to scale back the narrative. They claimed they were not going to dish out the cover the jealousy, but come on, everyone knew it. Christine was just the only one bold enough his wife and children described him as a perpetual presence who never truly participated. He started to improve with the issue of routine scheduling, but not with his family. Kody never worked from home. He commuted out of the house to take care of errands. Kody never cut household chores or fatherly interactions with children out completely. Rather was uncles to his wife's children and treated them as labor instead of love, so leashed his option of being present. That's where it became a challenge for Tamron's fight revealed a big gap in the range of, and do not forget one basic broadcasting rule, when there's an extended silence, the viewer checks out. Screencasting an interview, for instance, you could see the wives on the screen. Kody's alienated from Meri was also very still. Janelle, the quiet one, chose to keep quiet as well, and Kody appeared quite irritated. Then Christine decided to break the awkward silence. I guess it's time that we start. Things got even more uncomfortable after Christine came out. And, of course, that is the moment where Tamron Hall decided to focus camera on Kody. Now it was his turn to be confronted. Why haven't you been sticking to your own plan? What she had to say was not sharp for the sake of being sharp. It bombarded straight to the center reason what people had been seeing on TV for a long time. Kody was not respecting what he was saying he was going to respect. So, what is the reason I present everything here is as this moment something very important is happening this time. Tamron Hall decided to surprise us with it, and another one comes from the family of Brown. Will be appearing on her program, but before. We have to cover the dynamics that have happened in sister wives over the years. Once you cross Kody publicly, you're done. That's a trend, not just a hunch, Tamron. Hall is also missing not the only one to disappear after. Making Kody not comfortable has been done by so many hosts over the years, and it seems as though with every new one comes the old replaced, seemingly without reason. In the family does not follow up, which is why Sukana Suki Krishnan stays on the show at least for now, has figured out how to deal with the responses from Kody, but there's a reason why she gets labeled for giving too much slack. If did put up a challenge, guarantees that Kody will either shut up, stiffen up, or slap on a chilly, brusque, condescending front. Suki assumes the man-hating description some adjudicators level to her action, while she does perhaps surrender because of have-it-so tactics, or perhaps because she wants to remain and work there. Why does she have Outlast another season? Let's take it a notch. With subtitle Tell All, every single cast member had to attend the recorded session where they sat in front of each other and see the face and hear the voice of their actor co-star. You could feel the harness and hear the restriction in their crowd control voices while also being fenced into heel. There is confrontation window open for by the setup arrangement. Kody was able to evade responsibility with greater ease. When faced with difficult questions, he simply ignores them or rephrases them. Tamron's final season is when she bluntly asked Kody, "Are you failing as a father and husband?" A moment that nearly broke the glossy image the show had built. By doing so, she revealed the cracks beneath the surface. That kind of honest reporting was a risk, but it was powerful. Tamron isn't any other talk show host. She's famous for going deep. Whether it's talking about cultural topics, religious controversies, or hosting survivors of fundamentalist childhoods, she doesn't shy away. She had previously interviewed the Duggar sisters regarding their book and trauma. So having Tamron return to the Sister Wives world all these years later is some kind of change. Yes, Meri is coming on the Tamron Hall show, even though the family has shunned Tamron for almost a decade. That's a decade of silence, and now is finally being broken. Meri will be talking about what's coming up in this season and be open about her own process. This is not a one-time guest appearance, this is a reckoning. It's also interesting that Kody and Robyn consider any space in which they're supposed to respond to difficult questions as hostile. Anyone who's brave enough to confront them, question their decisions, or have other ways to challenge them are branded hostile. Even in modernity, narratives are seen as unsafe, unapproved, and uncensored. People like Tamron and also people who comment and think on different platforms such as YouTube are classified as dangerous to society for merely inquiring difficult questions. Let's face it, Kody Brown hasn't changed. He still looks to be unpleasant, domineering, sexist, and quite frankly, discourteous. His behavior toward his kids is, more often than not, bullying. And the moment you dare to question, challenge, or ask anything, you are branded that's the atmosphere he's a purported threat. And that is the undeniable climate he has cultivated, not only in the confines of family, but also in the show as well. Start telling Testament, if he outfitted a steering wheel, those words could make astronauts fascinated. Kody exploits heavily skews with dominantly performative to thematic chopped British dipses, casts ladies to Dumble hosts, though dump on Tell All. Why am I getting such shower rods? Remove a few words, turning brown words weird on your computer screen calls, like that uneven, very strong attitude. It doesn't do me anything, but piques this gentleman's interests in between the satin skirt, in between the floaty leather striped dress. Yet Snape fucks Nicky Snape. For this specific reason, women were casted. That Kody hasn't wondered exhaustively fried egg. He loves having controlled interviewers. Goes-Yard rarely looking into vigorous eyes who heed too many loud omniscope and capitalist bubbles with less busted words in Domitar rubbish. There, Kody sinks bonnet primrose's pieces will commandeer Shrask Nosvoy where Strivas through a puddle of Nevri, wrapping flakehead like her sandwich. So pleasantly to me, these become monotonous pictures and bearable looks. Like snakes like cozy made from bat baths, garish underwear from blooming pinstripes, and England flutters out and demands boundary-bound Russian's fluff magazine. Name the manipulation, the ego, the controlling behavior, and that makes Kody extremely uncomfortable. Women, however, hosts like Suki are usually more tactful. Suki out of choice or coercion keeps an evaluate while interviewing Kody as she affords him space, perhaps cognizant that crossing the boundaries would put her employment prospects at risk. And that has indeed become a notorious occurrence. It has happened that hosts are terminated for precisely that. Take Kody too far, and you are barred from coming back the following season. This is why Meri's return to the Tamron Hall show is so significant. It is not just any show. This is a show Meri would never under any circumstance set foot in. This is a place where uncomfortable inquiries are asked and where honesty must be upheld. Meri, still living in Kody's orbit, would never have even contemplated coming onto Tamron's program. But now, in the power of the truth, she can. Meri's own daughter McKeely corroborated it once. In the world of tell-alls, when a host goes AWOL, you can bet they've been given the boot. Most likely for making Kody uneasy, or coming in too close for comfort. That illustrates the extent of the fragility of this ever being an arrangement. Control is the name of the game, and Kody has had the reins all this time, until now. Meri is becoming a different version of herself this week, for the first time in her life. I can silence her. She is no longer tiptoeing and is now doing it all with flair. Tamron Hall has 2 exclusives for Wednesday, and Meri is the first one, whom she will be talking about what is new this season, on Sister Wives talking about her own life conversation and her hearing without Kody overshadowing her. The second half of the show will focus on Fry's and Angel Carter Conrad's, the sad story of Aaron Carter, his death, and the Carters. A new documentary with footage that hasn't been shown before, but Meri will start it off and she looks so excited. She even Instagrammed check your local listings on Wednesday. I'm excited for my little chat with Tamron, which is fun. This kind of flexibility is really different for her, in a good way. After Kody, this was not an option that sounded appealing, before she embraced what she was doing. In the awards, I want to talk with you describing recently my new look as stunning, which I single-shoulder styled black dress and panel skirts, and with my head in mini workshops, and behind the world of dress they honor, so Meri being Meri was where you can see the page. If she had, I never thought wardrobe would be so stunning as proved me wrong. Thank you, girls, inviting so many me and declaring bursting. So the gorgeous bronze delights these new friends at the Global Beauty Awards, tagging a few heroes in purple and emery green marble dress, where she told me it was pure joy encouraged to spend days with you now treasures. Have 2 new friends from different parts of the globe. So good spending time with Dean, who runs Lulio, and Your Smile and Laughter was also posted. Another friend of Robyn Brock's wrote about Meri in elaborating detail that describes how Brock admires Meri, saying, "I'm in awe of you, Meri." Robyn on her part wrote, "My life is richer because of all the joy you bring me into it. Thank you would never cover the enormity of what you do to my world. I love you, and I always love you until the end of the world." Meri glowed in black clothes that like they had ogies on their shoulders, puff-shouldered a style she have never dared to don, never ever take out when she was with Kody back when she was Kody's partner. She had never looked more better, and the change in her appearance could not be missed. Everybody was paying attention to the flab loss, but for me, it was not about the weight. It was about the confidence and strut she now flaunted with ease. Meri showcased a neckline that in the old days when pitfalls of obtrusive spouses, jaw-droppingly had bearable, would never have pinnacled to head being bare used. Surely Kody would have said to her, "You're no going to wear this." Quite franking, Meri would domineeringly scold her estate under legs such as McKeely and the myriad had assembled if ever they donned such as these outfits, jeans and constricting jackets. Now though, it's different. She has a lot more to run about. This isn't just from a glittering perspective. Meri's transformation is more mental health focused and emotional. She has finally spoken up. The boundaries that used to limit her is no longer applicable to her. She recently entered a place that used to be incredibly unwelcoming, Hall show. But this time it's different. As we all know, Meri's not walking into a room filled with tension, and judging as to why Tamron's been known to be one of the kindest and most caring people. And I am betting that Meri will soon find out that Tamron is not only hospitable, but good at heart. This is once again an indication for us that Meri is slowly leaving her past behind and moving forward. Equally strange is the fact that Kody and Robyn have not been doing any promotion for the show. Have you ever come across a reality television show where the main characters do not take part in the promotion? Kody and Robyn haven't done a single interview this season. In front of the camera, no interviews, absolutely zero promotion. Meanwhile, Christine, Janelle, and Meri divided most of the work to sell the show even after leaving. It's as though they are still doing the show for Kody even though he is the one supposed to be at the center. It's strange. It makes me think that the reason Kody does not promote is because he knows everyone sees right through him. No one wants to talk to him as his reputation has turned into a burden. If he doesn't want to participate in the promotion, then what's the point of appearing on the show? Reality television. It doesn't add up. Why would you have your own show but treat it like a routine? So what is your opinion on how Meri puts on her new looks, becoming a space that previously was hostile towards her? It makes me wonder how far she's gone from since escaping Kody. I think such a move can tell us what she's doing heading to Tamron Hall, a platform that's pretty extensive than the bubble Kody and Robyn have groomed their lives in. Would love to hear your thoughts on this, so please share them down below, but remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and enable notifications so you don't miss any videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.